Good afternoon from Portman Road. What a day for Championship football on your home of the EFL. That is Talksport 2. I'm Joe Shannon, former Ipswich midfielder. Darren Ambrose is with me. The ground is packed here in Suffolk. It is a warm late morning, early afternoon. Plumes of flame shooting up into the sky on the far side of the field. Ipswich and Southampton have taken to the pitch. Two sides relegated from the Premier League last season. Two sides with high hopes of bouncing back at the first time of asking. And Darren, this is a big match for both. First home game of the season for Ipswich. Another look at Southampton under Will Still. Really looking forward to it.
Yes, really looking forward to it. Good afternoon, Joe. I look to my left and it's a packed out Portman Road. Side by side, a sea of blue and white. A banner is across the front of the stadium, and what a match this is going to be. Both have recently played a newly promoted side from League One, and now they're facing off against each other. And mentality change is what I need to say about both of these clubs, losing a lot of games last season, but I'm really looking forward to this, and hopefully we see a lot of quality on show this afternoon.
Well, these are the teams. Ipswich with Palmer in goal, Johnson, O'Shea, Greaves and Davis, Matusiwa and Taylor, Philogene, Smodix and Jack Clark behind Hurst. And for Southampton, Bazunu in goal, Harwood, Bellis, Stevens and Quashi at the back, Fraser and Wellington the wing-backs, Downs and Charles the two in the middle, with Fernandez making his first league start of the season, young Jay Robinson and Adam Armstrong up front. Significantly for Southampton, Tyler Dibbling is on the bench, and I just wonder, Darren, whether in your opinion, being in the game as long as you have, that means Tyler Dibbling could be staying with the Saints.
It certainly could mean that, absolutely. Normally in these situations, we see it with Amari Hutchinson on Tuesday against Bromley, that he wasn't involved. Normally in these situations, the player isn't involved. He uses the excuse that he's not ready, his mind's not at it at the moment. But being back on the bench does show me that perhaps he's either decided to stay, they've decided to not sell him whatsoever, or no one's coming up with the money and he needs to be back in the football team.
Well, it remains to be seen. Talksport.com for all the very latest transfer news. A busy day of live football around the grounds, around the country. And what a day it is for football here. Lots of replica shirts on show. Temperatures at just over 20 degrees. And Darren, this place was a fortress for Ipswich in 23-24 when they were promoted to the Premier League. Just one league win here in the whole of last season. That's got to turn around and quickly. Absolutely.
Home form is vital, it's crucial if you want to be going straight up to the Premier League after coming down. You're absolutely right. It was a fortress. Home and away, by the way. Last time in the Championship, winning 28 games. And then last season only winning 4-1 at home, as you said, against Chelsea. So that has to change. The momentum has to switch, and it has to start today for Ipswich. And if they can get a victory against the second favourites to win the Championship, to go up, then they can build on that momentum.
Well, the game is about to kick off here. Southampton from right to left in the first period, and we're off and underway at Portman Road. The Saints in their familiar colours, red and white striped shirts, black shorts and white socks, and Ipswich from left to right in their blue and white. Early touch for Jacob Greaves away on the far side to left, and he's sliced that clearance out of play for a throw on the far side of the field. We are right on the halfway line, halfway down the Old Main Stand at Portman Road. Kieran McKenna to the right, Will Still, the Southampton boss, to the left-hand side. And I think it'll be fascinating to see how this young, new Southampton head coach copes with his first season in English football as a manager. He's become well known over the last couple of years, and Southampton have got off to a good start. Ipswich 0, Southampton 0, and now the ball is out of play for another Saints throw on the near side, the left-hand touchline. Welcome to the Championship, he said, Darren Ambrose, after that late victory over Wrexham on the opening weekend.
Yeah, and magnificent. What a start for him against Wrexham, the newly promoted side, the Hollywood club. 1-0 down going into the stoppage time, and then he puts on a substitute. Substitute gets a goal, and then they hit the winner. 90. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better for him on his opening fixture in England, and then winning in the cup. Northampton 1-0 again. But this is a different test altogether today. It's going to be a real tough one for him. I really like him as a manager. Always kept an eye on him. He's only young. Was he 32? But this is a different proposition altogether this afternoon.
Two of the youngest managers in the Championship. 39-year-old Kieran McKenna watches on with his arms folded. Ipswich have possession. Long goes O'Shea, the new captain. High angle ball to the left, and a first touch for Jaden Philogene, who's finally in action for the campaign after an ankle injury in pre-season. Right-footed cross headed away by the German Quasi at the heart of the back line for Southampton. A summer signing at the club. 2,000 Saints fans have made the trip today, and we can see them on the far side as Davis delivers from the Ipswich left. Jack Clark was up there, could drop towards Smodics. Saints smuggle it away. Ipswich 0, Southampton 0 on Talksport 2. Your home of the EFL. 2.5 minutes gone. Jack Clark with another raking ball in from the far side. Davis can't keep it in play. Goal kick. Ipswich looking for the aerial route early on in the game, Darren.
Yeah, really good start by Ipswich, actually. Firstly, Jaden Philogene down the left-hand side, cutting in, delivering a good ball, just went over the top of Sammy Smodics' head in the 6-yard box. And then Leif Davies, we know what quality he's got with his left foot, put one in. Jack Clark getting on the end of it, couldn't quite hit the target. But yeah, good start, and shows that they are going wide as the referee stumbles and falls over, and they're going to look for aerial threats.
And no place on the bench for Ipswich's new signing, the loanee Chuba Akpom. Not quite ready enough to play. He's only had a couple of training sessions, but that is one of many reinforcements, perhaps expected, perhaps still needed at Portman Road before the end of the window. Hurst in the area, error at the back for the Southampton defence, and it's no goal. What a mess. I think it's gone in off Harwood Bellis. Jack Clark lurking to stick it across goal, and a double deflection on that cross, and it's ended up in the back of the net. Well, it's a delightful start for Ipswich Town, who've been on the front foot since the off. Jack Clark is taking the credit, but I'm sure that has gone in off a Southampton defender at the back post. It is Ipswich 1, Southampton 0, and I think that's an own goal from Harwood Bellis.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it all started with a high press. Sammy Smodics high pressing as Joshua Quasi has lost possession. They've won it back. George Hurst gets in behind, and you know what? I thought what he's going to do, he's getting on his good foot, he's going to shoot. He doesn't. He cuts it back. It hits Jack Clark, and then it does, you're right, it hits Taylor Harwood Bellis, and it's so unlucky for the defender. But you have to be said, it's been coming this opening 4 minutes.
Well, the PA here gave it to Jack Clark, which I find quite extraordinary, and no question that it was an own goal. And Ipswich have a 1-0 advantage on a ground where they only won once all of last season in that ill-fated Premier League campaign. Ipswich and Southampton, who finished in the bottom two places. The Saints only picked up 12 points, but they haven't got started at all just yet. Johnson with a right-footed delivery over the head of Philogene. That's going to bounce out of play on the far side of the field, and it's a Southampton throw in their right-back position. So work to do already for Southampton, who haven't really got out of their own half in the first 5 minutes, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, certainly a lot of work to be done, and as you said, it's been a fantastic start by Ipswich, and can already see straight away Ben Johnson got it down just in front of us on the right, delivered the ball straight away. Normally they like to build through possession, but not today. As soon as they get in the opportunity, Ipswich, they're putting it into the box.
Well, Southampton lose the ball in the middle of midfield, but Shea Charles has been brought down, and that's a free kick right in front of the referee, Robert Madley, that incident. Shea Charles, who was magnificent on loan at Sheffield Wednesday last season, and Southampton with the free kick midway inside their own territory. The Southampton players still yet to settle into the game, and it's Ipswich who lead by that early goal to nil. An own goal from Taylor Harwood Bellis, who was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it really was a messy goal for Southampton to concede. Armstrong's touch for them. Out to the left, and the 18-year-old Jay Robinson in front of the Sir Bobby Robson end, blocked off by Ben Johnson, and Southampton get their first corner of the afternoon. The good thing for Southampton, I guess, Darren, here is that there's a long time for them to get back into it.
Yeah, so early the goal. Was it 3 minutes into this match, and they've gone down the other end, and they have won a corner. They've got an aerial threat as well. We can see Quasi is up there, Harwood Bellis is up there, Jay Robinson, all big players, so it's a tricky one for Ipswich to defend.
Well, Mateus Fernandes will take the corner, right-footed and in, swinging from the near side, headed away, only as far as Wellington on the half volley. It'll drop for Armstrong in the area. Charles pokes it forward again. It was a very scrappy passage of play, and the poke from Charles inside the area has taken a deflection, and that will be another Southampton corner, 2 in quick succession, as they seek an early reply to that early own goal for Ipswich.
Yeah, not just a deflection. The Southampton players were appealing for a penalty, maybe a handball, but the referee gave nothing except the corner.
Ipswich have brought everybody back in the royal blue shirts. A late penalty from George Hurst, enough to earn Ipswich a point at Birmingham on the opening weekend. Southampton scored late themselves, 2 in added time, to come from behind and beat Wrexham, who have lost 2 from 2. Wrexham, the new boys in the Championship this season. Corner to Southampton. Mateus Fernandes, right-footed out swinging, the flick by Adam Armstrong. Up goes Charles, punched away by the goalkeeper Alex Palmer, lofted back in by Robinson, and Palmer's there to take the ball high above his head. Good, confident goalkeeping from Alex Palmer, who is one of the best at this level, you'd have to say.
Yeah, very good signing when Alex Palmer come to the football club. We're having a few issues, weren't they, in the goalkeeping area, but once again assured from him. Great punch to start with, and then caught the resulting crossing by Jay Robinson. Real good signing, Alex Palmer.
Well, they certainly were having issues. You're absolutely right, Darren Ambrose, and Aro Muric has gone away on loan to Sassuolo. Amari Hutchinson is probably the key departure, along with Liam Delap, over the course of the summer for Ipswich. Some very senior first-team players have left the club for big money, but I think Kieran McKenna has made it very clear that he wants new players in before the end of the window.
And they need it. They will need reinforcements, no doubt about that. Not only reinforcements, players that can go straight into the starting lineup if they want to get promoted straight back to the Premier League. And we know that's going to be a tough ask, as George Hurst is just brought down over the far side, Joe. I think it's Harwood Bellis once again. But yeah, I think 50 mil now they've got from a few players, so maybe we'll see a few signings, few incomings in the coming weeks.
And it was Harwood Bellis on Hurst, who's working the channels to good effect so far. It was Hurst's pullback from inside the penalty area that led to the only goal of the game so far. Ipswich 1, Southampton 0. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. I'll tell you more about the EFL commentaries that we've got coming up for you over the next few days on the station in just a moment. But standing over this free kick, Philogene, and now Leif Davis going across to join him for Ipswich. There's just a word for the former Aston Villa man, Philogene, who has proven himself at this level with Hull City in the past and should be an important player for Ipswich this season. Bright orange boots on, right-footed free kick into the 6-yard box, and Hurst heads it wide. He should have scored.
What a delivery, Jayden Philogene. Absolutely outstanding. Exactly on the head of George Hurst. And yeah, you can tell we're lucky to have a screen in front of us for the replays, Joe, and you can tell he's so disappointed. He got his head to it, full connection, just got it wrong.
Southampton give it away at the back again. This is what led to the opening goal. It was Quasi's mistake once more, not helped out by Wellington either, and now Charles struggling to play out from the back. Quasi blocked off by Smodics, but Sammy Smodics was coming back from an offside position, and it's a Southampton free kick midway inside their own half of the field. The nervousness about Southampton on the ball in these early stages, though of course today they could, if they were to come back and win, equal their league victory tally from the whole of last season. Just 2 wins in the Premier League, and turning that negative momentum around isn't always easy. Mateus Fernandes back to goalkeeper Bazunu, back in the side this season. Quasi to Wellington, the left wing back, heavy touch takes him in field, back to Charles, angled crossfield ball high to the right. Fraser's kept it in on the far side of the field. Ryan Fraser back to Harwood Bellis, good early ball up the middle towards Mateus Fernandes, and now Flynn Downs finds Charles on halfway. Nice football from Southampton, right to left in the first half in their familiar red and white. Good skill by Robinson to turn away from Johnson, and he's beyond O'Shea as well. Johnson got back in the end, and he shepherded it behind for a goal kick, but That was lovely, fleet-footed play from the 18-year-old Jay Robinson.
Yeah, good play all around, actually. Jay Robinson come in a little bit too easy. Ben Johnson, but he didn't give up. Ben Johnson carried on his run, tracked him back, and as he cut inside Dara O'Shea, who was there? Ben Johnson, to cover and clear up. It went out for a goal kick, but I think that would have been given as a foul any other case as well from Jay Robinson. But great feet from the boy.
Well, I guess it's as significant as anything for both these teams to find positive momentum after such disappointing seasons in the Premier League last year. And Ipswich have got the early momentum, 12 minutes in, and they lead by a 0-0. Southampton look long for Adam Armstrong over the halfway line, heavy touch on his left foot. O'Shea, the Ipswich captain, is across and authoritatively rolls it back to the feet of Alex Palmer. This is Talksport 2, forward by Jacob Greaves, high and long up towards Hurst on the halfway line, not afraid to go long and direct. Ipswich here, shoving the back of Hurst from Stevens, the Southampton defender. Nothing given by the referee, bar an Ipswich Town throw on that far side there left. Our next EFL commentary is on Wednesday night as Bolton host Reading in League One. That'll be live here again on Talksport 2. Reading have got off to a disappointing start to the season, and then next weekend a packed schedule. Our commentaries include Wrexham against crisis club Sheffield Wednesday, West Ham against Chelsea, Man City against Spurs, also next weekend, both on Talk Sport. And of course the best way to be across all the action is to download our free app, and you can swipe between both stations as and when you need to. Ipswich 1, Southampton 0. Johnson in the right back position, near side of the field, forward to Jack Clark, tripped by Wellington, and that's a free kick to Ipswich on the near side. Right in front of Will Still, the Southampton manager. A 3-year contract he signed in the summer. Flynn Downs quickly wins it back for Southampton. Tall presence in the middle of midfield and up against his old club today. Downs the number 4. Fernandez back to Harwood Bellis, and you do sense now, after that very slow start, that Southampton are settling into the game, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, you're right. They're getting a foothold, having a little bit of possession, some good passages of play, but the high press is really working for Ipswich at the moment.
Good work by Jack Clark down the near side, the right. Low ball to Smodics in the penalty area. Shot is blocked by Stevens, and the ball is thundered away by Wellington high up towards the halfway line. Fernandez has committed a foul, and that'll be a free kick to Ipswich 10 yards into opposition territory. Much more positive from Ipswich, certainly, than the first half performance that we saw on Talk Sport at St Andrews on the opening weekend of the season.
Yeah, of course, Kieran McKenna said it, didn't he, afterwards, that there's a lot of room for improvement after that performance. It was a battling performance, and not only are they winning the battle at the moment, but they're winning the game, and the possession. It's been a real good start. I mean, we've just seen a little lack of communication. Jack Clark, Sammy Smodics tried a little 1-2. He didn't run. Smodics played. It's gone out for a goal kick. But like when I talk about the high press, Joe, they're hunting in packs at the moment. They're not going in 1s and 2s, which predominantly we see against Birmingham and even Bromley to a certain degree in midweek. They're going all together as a team now.
That was the League Cup defeat on penalties for Ipswich in South East London. Southampton won away at Northampton. They'll play Norwich City at Carrow Road in the second round. So it'll be another trip up to East Anglia for Southampton. Will Still not happy on the near side of the field. The flame-haired Will Still with his dark tracksuit on. Ipswich have been the better team, no question, in the opening quarter of an hour. And they are 1-0 to the good. Johnson right back, near side, ready to take a throw. Scored in midweek, actually, in the League Cup. Jack Clark, pink boots on, back to O'Shea. And now Greaves can come away with possession. Unchallenged, no pressure on him really whatsoever. Only token pressure eventually from Mateus Fernandez. Greaves plays a 10-yard ball to halfway in Philogene. Back to Jack Taylor. Taylor just shy of halfway, just outside the centre circle. Now O'Shea under pressure from Armstrong. Thought he had more time than he actually did there, Dara O'Shea. Just a little too casual from Ipswich in the last couple of moments. The goalkeeper Palmer was slow as well. They get it forward to halfway, but then Philogene gives it away. to Stevens. Stevens square to Wellington. Good ball bursting into Ipswich territory, but Robinson with a return pass can't find a teammate, and it's through to Palmer. Just a slight sloppiness about your old club there, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, a little bit, and it started, didn't it, with Dara O'Shea just taking too long in possession. Adam Armstrong hustling, trying to get the win possession back, almost did, and then Alex Palmer again sloppy, and then we see another sloppy pass from the Southampton forward this time.
A long ball pinged downfield by O'Shea for Ipswich. Matu Siva will scoop it forward, the Dutchman, another of the summer signings at Ipswich Town. And now Southampton have a free kick on the halfway line, and just inside the centre circle. Matu Siva, who was, I think, introduced to the pace of the Championship more than anything else, the pace and the rigour of the second tier against Birmingham last weekend. They do have Jens Kajusta back on the bench to Ipswich today, back at the club for a second season running. Southampton now with Mateus Fernandes, good turn 25 yards out, Armstrong square and hit by Wellington, and Robinson got in his way. The ball was behind Robinson, Wellington running onto it. The Brazilian had a much better look at it on his favoured left side, and you can only put that mistake down to a lack of communication. In the end, the ball skewed horribly wide for a goal kick to Ipswich. Yeah,
you have to question whether Wellington said anything to Robinson. He was definitely in the better position, coming onto it on his left foot, just about to hit it. As you said, Robinson just got in his way, and I don't think there was anything said by Wellington. Must have just presumed that he knew he was there.
18 minutes played, and it's Ipswich 1, Southampton 0. Wellington really looked like he was going to run onto that at pace. Not scored for Southampton, and that run continues here. Now, Robinson, who's had a promising start, the youngster, to the new campaign. A lot of faith placed in him by Will Still. And less impressive there. And Jack Clark scampers infield for Ipswich to the midway point of his own half. And Ipswich in command, and the Portman Road crowd sounding its approval. Applause rings around the stadium. Ipswich fans on four sides of the ground. Sold out once again today. Mateus Fernandes, though, darting down the inside right for Southampton. Good chip cross to Robinson, who tries to nod it square towards the onrushing Charles. That's a relatively simple clearance in the end for Jacob Greaves. Southampton have got it back. And maybe once again you call into question the decision-making of the teenager Robinson. Didn't really feel like the header square was on, Darren.
No, I thought he was just going to head it at goal. I mean, if anything, that was the better option. As you said, he tried to head it back across to Adam Armstrong, but he was never going to get there. So, yeah, it was the wrong decision once again from Robinson, but it's been better the last few minutes for Southampton. They're starting to become a threat going forward. Panicking a little bit, Ipswich at the back at the moment.
There's good build-up play from Southampton, but the finishing touches haven't been there at all yet. They're yet to test Alex Palmer. 20 minutes into the match on a big day of football, and if you want all the goals as they go in from the Premier League, the first Sunday of the Premier League, you can join Sam Matterface and the team on Game Day Live from 1:30 over on Talksport. Again, best way to be across the action is to download our free app. But it's been a fabulous second game week of the Championship campaign. So many goals going in yesterday, dramatic matches and last-minute goals as well. It is the Championship, and it is one of the best leagues around. Flynn Downs inside right for Southampton. Further wide is Fraser. Fraser infield to Charles. He's about 30 yards out. Reverse ball down the right-hand side towards Fernandes, who can't get it under control. Jack Taylor was there. Ipswich clear downfield. Mateus Fernandes, just like Tyler Dibbling, who's on the bench today, another Southampton player linked with a move away from the club. But again, the fact that he's started the last two now would suggest that he might be staying. Robinson's pullback from the Southampton left, turned behind by O'Shea. Third corner for Southampton. They're having a good spell.
Yeah, they just need to get hold of it, Ipswich. And they are having a really good spell last 5 minutes, causing a lot of problems getting forward. Flynn Downs trying to make the runs, break the lines. Ryan Fraser on the other side, former Ipswich player as well, looking a threat. Just need to get a foothold, Ipswich, get some possession.
A corner on the near side for Ipswich, and Wellington will take it. It'll be left-footed and out-swinging away in front of the Sir Bobby Robson end, packed with Ipswich fans, all on their feet in the lower tier as usual. Wellington's delivery headed away. Relatively straightforward in the end, that for Hurst, backtracking the number 9. Wellington again with an opportunity to cross. Hurst is there again to volley it clear, this time at the near post. 2 disappointing deliveries from Wellington. Now Mateus Fernandes, angled ball to the right-hand side. Stevens hoists in the cross, and a stooping header away by O'Shea. Somehow found his centre defensive colleague Greaves right by the Ipswich corner flag, and he's got to be careful. Doesn't clear it very far. Headed down by Downs, and then a clumsy-looking challenge, I thought, by Davis all over the back of Stevens. And the referee, bemusingly, and Will still can't believe it either, arms outstretched, lets the play go on.
Yeah, I thought it was a foul as well. It was a very similar one that Ipswich got given over the other end just before the goal. I did think it was a foul. Leif Davies, hands on the back of Jack Stevens. But yeah, Bobby Madley, wave play on again.
Fraser out on the right, quick ball infield to Fernandes, who's taken it beyond Philogene. Looks really lively, really dynamic, the young Portuguese. Out on the far side, one of the very few positives really, I think, Darren Ambrose from Southampton's relegation season last year. We are midway through the first half, but it is Ipswich who lead by a 1-0. Foul on Matthew Seaver by Charles, who is no stranger to a robust challenge and actually was no stranger to a booking last season in the Championship.
Absolutely, and this is exactly what Ipswich need, really. Matthew Seaver on the floor is just taking his time, using that experience, try and gain some momentum back to Ipswich. The official just having a little chat with Charles. Nothing given though, no booking given, just a free kick.
Former Manchester City player Shea Charles, who has started both matches so far this season for Southampton, coming into today, so 3 from 3. And again, you can't help but feel that though a young player, his presence would have helped Southampton in the top flight last year. The applause you can hear is because the Ipswich subs are warming up down below us. Ipswich 1-0 to the good. That own goal from Taylor Harwood-Bellis very early on. Chip over the top towards Smodics, who's in. Hits it on the volley, but wide. Got the wrong side of Harwood-Bellis, and now he's gone down. Sammy Smodics holding his left knee, and that is a big concern for the Ipswich boss, Kieran McKenna.
Yeah, it is, because it's a fantastic run. It was a great ball as well. Jack Taylor, I think, with the pass, and he went with his right foot. Well, he looked to land awkwardly on his left. I was just looking at the screen in front of us, and he does look to be in a little bit of pain here with his left knee. Hopefully this is not as serious as it looks.
Well, there might be a problem here for Sammy Smodics. They haven't called the physios on just yet. In fact, they have now. 2 physios attending to Smodics in the Southampton penalty area. Harwood-Bellis having a word with the referee. This is close to the Southampton fans on the far side of the field. They always travel well, Southampton. And they, among their upcoming matches, host the early league leaders, Stoke City, next Saturday. And then a couple of trips on the road again to Norwich in the League Cup and Watford away from home, before a home game against Portsmouth. The South Coast Derby is back for the season in the Championship. That is live on Talksport 2. And we are so early into the season, of course, Darren Ambrose, that you can't really judge anything yet. But from what you've seen across the course of the couple of weekends so far, what has caught your eye in particular?
The result yesterday, Coventry versus Derby, that was fantastic. I covered Coventry versus Hull, and that was 0-0. So I was.
Hey, look, well, we've got a goal this time, exactly. Haven't we? At least.
I wish I had that 5-3 game. So yeah, Frank Lampard's side is certainly catching the eye for me. I think the unlucky Wrexham at the moment, because that's what it seems to be. It's a story of the Championship at the moment. It's going to be a tough ask for them. And as you said, Stoke City are really impressing me at the moment, as well. 2
wins from 2 under Mark Robbins. Middlesbrough and West Brom, the other sides to have picked up maximum points so far. Smodics is walking around the edge of the pitch, and he's going to continue to be treated here. He's back up on his feet, Darren, and with the experience that you've got, do you think he'll carry on?
Yeah, I do, yeah. You know what, I think it's a cut. I think he cut when he landed, because I've seen they was dabbing him with a bit of tissue. It looked like there was a lot of blood, and he did land awkwardly on his knee. Maybe there was a little pebble or something on the pitch, because it looked like it is cut, and he looks to be moving well now down right in front of us, ready to go back on.
Terrible crossfield ball straight out of play from Taylor Harwood-Bellis, who's having a rough afternoon of it so far. Scorer of the only goal, albeit at the wrong end, and that's why Ipswich lead Southampton by a 1-0. 26.5 minutes have been played on quite a nice warm day in Suffolk, though there are clouds in the sky now. That early season feel around the grounds, around the country, always very special. Stevens sweeps the ball high and up into the air. Smodics has come back on now, so Ipswich are restored to their full complement of 11 players. Word for the fourth official from the Ipswich boss, Kieran McKenna. Now Taylor, heavy touch under pressure from Downs, and he gets away with it just. Jack Taylor managing to hold off the onrushing Downs, and it went back through to Alex Palmer again, but you see it time and time again up and down the country. Playing through the thirds is not always easy, and you can be caught out. Southampton have it with Mateus Fernandes. Inside right channel, Fraser is on the overlap, plays it back now to Harwood-Bellis. Square of him is Kouaji. Long way out the German, thought about a shot, but angles it wide to the near side to left. Wellington crosses, headed away. Good header by O'Shea at the heart of the Ipswich back line, and Jack Clark will thunder it further clear. Hurst will chase, but Stevens gets there first and sends it back to Bazunu, whose touch is a bit heavy. The former Portsmouth goalkeeper trying to slow it down. Bazunu, who didn't feature at all for Southampton last season, finished the campaign out on loan. The Saints players have smuggled it up to halfway, but Greaves is there to win it back for Ipswich, and he's trying to force his way down the middle. Out of defence steps Stevens, and they've got a man over here. Southampton on the counter. Fraser into the box, tries to cut it back. Good defending by a combination of Davis and Taylor. Greaves is now back in position. Fernandes right edge of the penalty area. Wide again. Fraser. First time cross. Robinson heads it in. It's an equaliser for Southampton, and a landmark moment for the 18-year-old Jay Robinson with his first senior goal. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1.
And it's been coming, hasn't it, Joe? They've really been a threat going forward in the last 10 minutes. Southampton, Ryan Fraser down the right-hand side, Flynn Downs in the middle. This time again, it was a little bit sloppy play. Jacob Greaves tried to run through the whole team, lost possession high up the field. Leif Davies dived in a little bit. Ryan Fraser ended up taking it full length of the pitch, but it was brilliant defending from Jack Taylor. And once again, they got back into a good shape. Ryan Taylor with an outstanding delivery, has to be said. And Robinson just arrived right time, was not going to miss. Middle of the goal, 6 yards out.
Nodded down and through the legs of Alex Palmer, but the goalkeeper, it was at such close range that he had no chance. And it is 1-1 as we move into the 30th minute on Talksport 2. And on the balance of play, you'd have to say Southampton deserved to be level. Ipswich dominated the early exchanges. Hurst thinks he's kept the ball in on the left wing for them, but it's out of play for a Southampton throw. But Will Still's team have worked their way back into the game, and a double fist pump from the new manager, the 32-year-old on the near side touchline, and a special moment for Jay Robinson to get that first Southampton goal. Absolutely, and it was such an inviting cross from Ryan Fraser on the right-hand side. Just dinked it into the middle, as I said, on running, arrived perfectly, and it was a lovely head, as you said. It was so close proximity. Alex Palmer couldn't do anything about it except watch it go through his legs. Well, we had a genuine thriller the last time these two met in the Championship. If you remember, Ipswich won it 3-2, thanks to an injury time goal from Jeremy Sarmiento. The Saints 2-1 winners here in the Premier League last season. Johnson back to Palmer, so Ipswich need to go again. It's been a performance of bits and pieces really for Ipswich so far, but not particularly consistent over the first half an hour. Is that fair, Darren Ambrose? Yeah, absolutely fair. They've had periods where they've been very good, particularly the first 10 minutes, very good, high press, winning it upfield, playing balls directly into the box. George Hurst having opportunities. But yeah, I think in the last 10 minutes it's all been Southampton, and as you said, on the balance of that, 1-1 is a fair scoreline at the moment. Well, it's an intriguingly poised game in the Championship, and And so often that's the case, isn't it? They all feel intriguingly poised, but Harwood Bellis's own goal, somewhat forgotten now. Robinson has headed Southampton level. Hurst for Ipswich, robbed of possession midway inside his own half by the slide challenge of Stevens. Good chip by Robinson, out to the far side, the right. Ryan Fraser is there, keeps it in play, back to the halfway line he goes, and Harwood Bellis. And now it is Southampton in control. 1-1 the score, and the Saints look the more likely to turn it around completely. Quasi, just inside Ipswich territory, big tall defender. Stevens in the middle of that central defensive three, and now the number 6, Harwood Bellis, yet another former Manchester City youngster who is now at Southampton. Quasi with a poor pass straight out of play. They don't look entirely convincing for me, playing out from the back. Actually, both teams don't really dare it.
No, they don't, and I think that's been earmarked by Kieran McKenna. You could quite clearly see in the opening 10 minutes how high they were pressing and winning it back. Yeah, no, Quasi has been guilty of a few of those misplaced passes.
Davis for Ipswich, infield from the left, and the ball has ricocheted off his shins straight to the feet of Stevens, and now Downs tries to carry possession forward towards the halfway line for Southampton, and he has been penalised, I think, for obstruction there. He went down, then held on to the ball, and free kick is given to Ipswich, and Flynn Downs against his old club as he talked himself into a third booking of the season in 3 matches already. Might just be a word in the end from the referee, and I think that is all it's going to be.
Yeah, you know what, Joe? I think Flynn Downs thought it was his free kick, and he was trying to just hold off the Ipswich players who was trying to win it back, because it was clearly Ipswich's free kick for handball obstruction, as you said. So he was surprised. His face showed an expression of surprise when he realised it wasn't his free kick.
Well, my first instinct was that he was right, but Ipswich have the free kick anyway. About 15 yards into Southampton territory. Quiet now among the home supporters at Portman Road after the Southampton equaliser. Davis high to the back post, headed back across by O'Shea. A looping header, well gathered by Bazunu, who actually didn't even need to make the catch in the end because O'Shea had peeled away into an offside position.
Yeah, he did, and I'm just watching it here. He's miles onside, O'Shea. He's at the back post. I have no idea why that's been given. The few players in the midfield, in the middle of the penalty area, were offside, but they had no interference in the game at that point. It was about 4 yards onside. That was the wrong decision.
Well, a let-off of sorts for Southampton as Bazunu pumps the ball long, the goalkeeper, high towards the Southampton left, the near side, and Will still applauds the intent, but it's out of play for an Ipswich throw. They look a little bit lacking in inspiration at the moment, Ipswich Town. Beleaguered maybe by the disappointment in the Premier League last season. In fact, between these two sides, if you combine their points tallies, 34 points between the two of them. 12 for Southampton and 22 for Ipswich Town. And Ipswich in particular, in the early stages of the season, look like they're still recovering and trying to go again. Johnson in the right back position near side. Live on Talksport 2, and live football continues across the next few days. The Monday Night Football on Talksport tomorrow night from the Premier League is Leeds against Everton for the first time. We'll have the Monday Night Football for you this season on the network. 500 live commentaries over the course of the entire campaign. Clark on the near side, the right for Ipswich, looks to play it forward towards Smodics, and Quasi's there to knock it out of play into touch, and the cheers as Ipswich win a throw.
Yeah, they're trying to get them inspired, the crowd, aren't they, at Ipswich here at Portman Road? As you said, it's just lacking a little bit of quality at the moment.
10 minutes remaining in the first half, plus added time. Matthew Seaver, the Ipswich number 5, defensive midfield player, sitting in front of the two central defenders. Back to O'Shea. O'Shea angled ball to the right. Good pass, fizzed into the feet of Johnson, who collects it well. Johnson now out to the right, and Clark. Poor ball in field, but he was caught by Wellington late, right in front of the assistant, who flags. That's a free kick. Be interesting to see that one again on our monitors, Darren Ambrose, because Wellington is protesting his innocence, but the first instinct was it was a late challenge.
Yeah, initial viewing for me, it was a foul. Jack Clark just knocked one round the corner, and yeah, we're just having a look at it now. Wellington, little bit late. It was the right decision. It was a yard in front of the assistant referee on this side.
Almost ended up crashing into the assistant referee there, Wellington. Free kick to Ipswich. Level with the edge of the penalty area on the near side. Davis will take it. It'll be left-footed and in-swinging. Leif Davis, who was the assist king, wasn't he, in the Championship in Ipswich's last season in this division. Provided 18 league goals that season. 1-1 the score. And Southampton have brought everybody back in the red and white striped shirts to defend it. A free kick in front of the Sir Alf Ramsey stand, that two-tiered stand behind the goal. One arm up into the air from Davis. Davis drifts it in high to the back post, headed away, drops to Philogene, who crosses, and that takes a deflection off Charles and goes behind for Ipswich's first corner of the afternoon.
Yeah, and you can hear the crowd behind the goal trying to get them, as we said, trying to fire them up. It's a good delivery into the box. Leif Davis in the end found its way to Jaden Philogene at the back post. Tried to put an early ball in and has deflected out for a corner.
Philogene is going to cross to take it in front of the Southampton fans. This one will be right-footed, so an in-swinging delivery from the Ipswich left. Here it comes, high towards the edge of the six-yard box, and Stevens missed his header. Lurking behind him, both O'Shea and Greaves, and Greaves nods the ball behind, and I think has realised that was a better chance than maybe he first thought was coming. I think he expected Stevens to head it away.
Yeah, he just seemed to find himself in the 6-yard box, and Dara O'Shea is crying out for a penalty as well. I think it's Flynn Downs that has a hold of his shirt in the box. But yeah, I think it just caught him unaware.
Bazunu's under pressure, and he manages to smuggle it wide right. The Southampton goalkeeper hammered high and long upfield by Harwood Bellis into the afternoon sky, nodded away by Greaves for Ipswich. At times, it's been quite scrappy, I have to say. First 38 minutes, two teams expected to be up there in the race for promotion. The Southampton goal was very well worked, and there have been decent passages of football from both teams, but it's not been a great first half, I wouldn't say, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, it's an early season football match.
Oh, but they have won it back. Ipswich half the pitch through Philogene. Hurst bursting down the middle, and he's worked his way to the area. Denied by the leg of Bazunu. Great run from Hurst. Now Davis joins the attack. Davis delivers that hit the defender Harwood Bellis. No handball against Harwood Bellis. He's immediately looked long. Oh, and Alex Palmer, miles out of his goal, nearly had it taken off his toe by Armstrong. Fortunately for him, Greaves was back, and so was O'Shea to clear it away from danger. Still 1-1.
Oh, end-to-end stuff. Fantastic run by George Hurst down one end. Maybe could have taken an extra touch, got him a little bit closer to the goal. He hit it early. It was good save, Bazunu. Then they went down the other end, and Alex Palmer, right out of his goal, must be 40 yards out of his goal, tried to bring it down, not aware that Adam Armstrong is right there, ready to take possession. It was good in the end, good covering, Dara O'Shea.
Well, that is more like it here, live on Talksport 2. Suddenly a greater injection of pace and energy to the game. And a good stop by Bazunu with his right foot to deny Hurst what would have been an excellent solo goal. Bazunu's long clearance bounces down to Downs. Looked like handball as he controlled it. You heard the loud shout of the majority of the 30,000 or so in the stadium. Free kick given to Ipswich by the referee. Here is Johnson in the right back area. Johnson's early ball forward to Clark. Slide tackle Wellington, and he's going to get booked this time. Looked like he might have got some of the ball, but he definitely got the man as well. And that's one foul too many for the Brazilian. And he is, you can hear the ironic cheers again, yellow carded.
Yeah, it's the right decision though. It is persistent fouling, one too many times. Majority on Jack Clark as well. It was clever wide play by Jack Clark. Knew that he was going to be there, Wellington just behind him. Got there first, went over, and it's the right decision. And I think, what was that, 3 or 4 fouls in a row from Wellington?
Well, it has suddenly livened up a little bit, almost right on cue. With 4.5 minutes of normal time remaining at the end of the first half, Will still having a word with the fourth official down below us. Johnson over halfway for Ipswich. High, long crossfield ball, right to left. Well covered by Fraser. Fraser there in front of Philogene to nudge the ball back into the gloves of his goalkeeper Bazunu, who drops it in front of his feet, clatters it high and long. Not really towards anybody in particular. Easy header away by Davis in the left-back position for Ipswich, and now Philogene and Fernandez going head-to-head on halfway. Southampton win that little battle, and back goes Harwood-Bellis to Bazunu. Now Quasi infield to Jack Stevens, back to Quasi again. Now Bazunu once more, lets it run across his body. Again, the goalkeeper not completely convincing, but that's a good ball to the right-back area, and Fraser plays it backwards to Stevens now, carries it forward to Mateus Fernandez, who's robbed on the centre circle, almost on the centre spot by Matu Siva. Now Taylor for Ipswich, tearing forward down the left-hand side and taking on Harwood-Bellis, who slipped. Taylor goes on, and Taylor is penalised by the referee just as he surged into the left edge of the box. And he's actually been yellow carded as well. That might be for something that he said to the referee, who's had a busy first 42 minutes, and I'm not sure he got that right, Darren Ambrose.
No, I think that's extremely harsh. Harwood-Bellis just stands in front of him, and he's going full flight in terms of his speed, and there's nothing more he could do. He just tried to manoeuvre him out the way because he was running a lot quicker than Harwood-Bellis. Harwood-Bellis, I have to say, clever defending. I don't think that was a yellow card. I was questioning whether that was even a free kick, to be honest.
Well, having looked at it again on the monitor, I don't think it was a free kick.
No.
I think Taylor had too much for Harwood-Bellis there. Yellow carded. 1-1 as the sun comes out in Suffolk. And Southampton have possession with Fraser. Nippy, tricky footwork infield from the right. Ryan Fraser made a career out of those sorts of dynamic runs. Now Robinson, who scored his first senior goal today to get Southampton on level terms. Wellington's cross turned behind by Clark. And Southampton have their fourth corner of the afternoon. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1, here live and exclusive to National Radio on Talksport 2. We are the only national radio station with full commentary of the EFL. Wellington now to deliver the corner for Southampton. This is left-footed and swinging away from goal into the near post. Again, not a good delivery. Headed away by the first man, Matu Siva. Back to Fraser. Fraser's right-footed in-swinging ball sent skywards. A horrible clearance by Hurst. Balloons it up into the air. Bounces down in the penalty area. Hit by Charles on the half volley. Armstrong was holding back Matu Siva. Actually, both sets of players, I think, looking to the referee there. And no decision in the end as play continues. And Ipswich have the ball back with Dara O'Shea.
Yeah, no decision was the right decision, I think, because it was just player coming together of both players and ended up at Alex Palmer's feet. So I think he played that really well, Bobby Madley.
Atmosphere's picked up a bit, hasn't it, in the last few moments? Just over a minute of normal time to go in the first half. 1-1 it remains. Philogene out on the left-hand side. Plays it back to Matu Siva. The score is 1-1. Taylor for Ipswich. Middle of the Southampton half. Forward down the inside left. Philogene gets away from Harwood-Bellis. And again Ipswich supporters scream at the referee. They want a free kick, and it's not forthcoming.
I mean, I think that's a free kick. He ends up beating him, Jaden Philogene, getting in front of Harwood-Bellis, who trips him over. And again, referee saying play on. He's getting some right and some wrong here.
Well, you always think, don't you, who'd be a referee, and it's a difficult job, as we know, but we're a long way away from that incident. Robert Madley's got a clear view of it, and it looked an obvious foul.
Yeah, sometimes you can tell by the reaction of the defender. Harwood-Bellis put his arms up, one of those, like, I didn't do nothing. That's obvious that you did, and that should have been a foul.
Yeah, it was quite a sheepish reaction, wasn't it, from Harwood-Bellis, like it as though he knew. A busy afternoon and a mixed afternoon for the referees so far. Into 3 added minutes at the end of the first half on Talksport 2. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. And you were saying earlier, Darren, is early season and has that getting to know you feel about it, I think.
Yeah, it certainly does. And with Ipswich, they've lost some key players. At the moment, they haven't replaced them, in my opinion. Jens Kajusto on the bench was here last season. He's a key addition, and we're seeing some of him today. Chuba Akpom as well. Need to see him as soon as possible. But they need to replace the players they've lost and try and gel more as a team. They've had periods in this match, as have Southampton as well.
And not in the squad, Chuba Akpom, not quite ready to go in an Ipswich Town shirt just yet, having joined on loan from Ajax. One player who is in the Southampton squad is Tyler Dibley. Heavily linked with Everton, but no move has yet materialised. Let's see if he ends up on the pitch today. And Southampton, I think, felt they could have had a penalty. Matthew Seaver on Armstrong in that incident in the penalty area a few moments ago. What did you make of it, Darren?
Looking at it again, I said it was a coming together. I think he's a little bit lucky, Matthew Seaver, actually. Looking at it again, he did grab hold of him, but there's not much he can do. Adam Armstrong's pulling himself to him, and he just kind of throws him around on the floor. So it could have been given, but I also think it was the right decision not to.
Well, Matthew Seaver's tugged the shirt of Charles, and now the referee, having played an initial advantage, has pulled it back, and a yellow card for Matthew Seaver. Kieran McKenna shakes his head, and I think the referee in a position now where you can hear the reaction of the Ipswich fans. You don't know what you're doing, but again, I think he was right to let play on and then pull it back eventually.
Yeah, I do. I think what they're arguing about, maybe it was a foul on Matthew Seaver to start with, as I think it was Shay Charles was running through, seemed to just nudge him off. And then as he pulls Shay Charles, he's been given the foul and a yellow card. So it's just starting to lose control a little bit of this match from Bobby Madley.
Feels overcomplicated, doesn't it? Not been that kind of game. Nearly 2.5 minutes with the 3 added at the end of the first half. Fernandez with the deep free kick into the penalty area, headed down, and the goalkeeper is able to pounce on the ball. It was Harwood Bellis with the header, bounced into the turf, and Palmer got there before Stevens could. It's still Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. Here come Ipswich on the far side there left. Philogene. Davis on the overlap. Philogene goes backwards to Jack Taylor, and now Philogene again to Greaves. Better intensity about the match though now, and these two evenly matched, I think, so far. 1-1 feels about right. Johnson down the right-hand side, the near side for Ipswich, blocked off by Wellington, deep inside Southampton territory. Jack Clark takes the throw quickly. Back to Matthew Seaver. We've had the 3 added minutes at the end of the first half. Hooked on by Ed Taylor down the inside right. Out comes Bazunu to pluck it out of the air. And that is half-time. So the scores level at the break. 1 or 2 boos, I think, from the Ipswich fans towards the referee. Southampton felt they might have had a penalty towards the end of that first half. Matthew Seaver on Armstrong, but it wasn't given. It was a Southampton player who put Ipswich in front very early on. Taylor Harwood Bellis with an awkward and unfortunate own goal after good work down the right by George Hurst, and Jack Clark involved in the build-up as well. But Southampton equalised just before the half-hour mark. Jay Robinson heading in his first senior goal from Ryan Fraser's pinpoint cross. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1, and these are the half-time thoughts of Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, I think on the balance of that half, I think 1-1 is a fair result going into half-time. I think this game could be won or lost by the substitutes. I felt that at the start of the match. I just think it's an early season football match. It has that feel to it. There's quality on show, but sometimes there's a bit of sloppiness. Teams trying to gel their new tactics, their new style of play, their new formations. And you can get an element of that as well. I think it's been a good game of football, but there's still a lot more to come from both sides, I feel.
And tell us about the 2 goals that we've seen, Darren. 2 goals really quite in contrast. I mean, let's look at the first one first of all. Own goal from Harwood Bellis. He's the unfortunate man. It's hit him and gone in, but Will Still, I think, will be really upset with the way Southampton began the match. Yeah,
I think so, and I think we see that Ipswich set the pattern straight away in terms of the high press. You know, winning the ball right up near Southampton penalty box, and as soon as they did, delivering it into the box. I mean, this time it was George Hurst that ended up getting in behind. I thought he was going to get it onto his foot and shoot. He ended up trying to cut it back to Jack Clark. And there was an element of luck, of course, but you create your own luck to a certain degree. And as the ball was cut back, Harwood Bellis could do nothing. It kind of ricocheted off Jack Clark, hit Harwood Bellis and went in. And on that show, in first 5-6 minutes, Ipswich deserved to be in the lead.
And then the equaliser 29 minutes in for Southampton, who had worked their way back into the match. How impressed have you been by the youngster Jay Robinson? And you know what it's like as a player. First goal in senior football, that is a special moment. Yeah,
it will certainly feel a special moment to him and his family and friends. And I think it was a well-worked goal in terms of Ryan Fraser down the right-hand side, played a lovely delivery. But it's the timing of the run from Jay Robinson. You know, he's a big player and he's arriving late into the box. I mean, he was 6-7 yards out, right on his head from Ryan Fraser. Wasn't picked up, wasn't tracked, and Alex Palmer had no chance with it because it was such close proximity. Ended up going through his legs, but a great moment for the youngster.
Tough first half for the referee. It's not almost about the inconsistency of the decisions. It's about the rights and wrongs. Some of them he looked to get right, and then some you look at and you think, well, that's blatantly the wrong decision. I mean, how do you see the performance of the referee? And actually, will he be relieved that it's half-time and the game can maybe settle down again?
Yeah, I think so. I think he needs help from his assistant referees as well. I don't think they're helping him too much. But you're absolutely right. Some decisions have been crazy in terms of Jayden Philogene just got fouled near the opposing box and he just waved play on. We've seen Matasiva pick up a yellow card for nothing really, in terms of just a little tug of the shirt. So yeah, I think it's been a real mixed performance from the officials, shall I say, because, you know, this game is stop-start at the moment. And I think to see the quality of both teams, sometimes you have to let play ride out. One thing that we've heard about in the English game over the summer is that holding is going to be penalised much more. We will see more penalties for holding. So do Southampton have a case for a spot kick towards the end of the first half? Matasiva on Armstrong? I think perhaps they do, yeah. On initial viewing, I said it was just a coming together, but as we said, we're lucky to have a screen in front of us. We see the replay. Adam Armstrong backed into Matasiva and he kind of grabbed him and just threw him onto the floor. The ball wasn't really near that particular area of the pitch. It was a few yards away, ended up getting a strike on goal, the Southampton forwards. There's an argument that it could have been given a penalty, but there's also, it could have been particularly harsh if that was as well. Darren Ambrose, former Ipswich midfielder, thank you for now. Darren back with second half commentary alongside myself, Joe Shannon, on Talksport 2. We'll bring you that in full shortly, and we'll get the half-time odds next on Talksport 2.
Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Oh.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire tea, where everything's done proper?
Vodafone's new customer service is a little bit different. It's called Just Ask Once. Message them on the Vodafone app. You deal with one person and they keep you updated until it's sorted, so you can get on with your day. Walkie's ears then. Just Ask Once. Customer service made easy from Vodafone, the nation's network.
Available via your My Vodafone app. Messaging service only. Exclusions apply. Vodafone UK, supporting the nation since 1984. More details, vodafone.co.uk/network.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month, right through August. Get Ibstock Glenfield 65mm red stock facing brick for just £600 per 1,000. Join the club and get this and other big trade deals this August with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
Get up to 100% boost on football ACCAs with William Hill's ACCA Boost. From 5% for 4 legs, right up to 100% for 15 legs or more. Available on 90-minute betting, 2 up, both teams to score and overall under goal markets. Get your ACCA Boost with William Hill, online and in shop. 18 plus, cash football ACCA, excludes over-the-counter bets in shops, 4 plus legs, minimum odds of 1 to 5, maximum £10,000 online, £2,000 in shop. Free bets excluded, T's and C's apply, gamble aware, play responsibly.
Your live sports station.
Oh, what a move. This is Talksport 2.
Wednesday night, League One, live on Talksport 2.
And on the edge of the area, it's fallen in!
Bolton Wanderers versus Reading.
Oh, that's a very smart finish!
Coverage from 7:45. Kick-off 8 p.m.
What a beautiful strike!
Wednesday night, on fan-fueled live football phenomenon. Talksport 2.
Only one radio heavyweight brings you unbeatable, canvas-thumping coverage of the biggest bouts in world boxing. Talksport. Go the distance with unparalleled ringside commentary of the biggest boxing showdowns.
Unbelievable stuff at the Manchester Arena!
With 2 tough-talking boxing shows, Fight Night and Fight Night Extra.
The fight starts now!
Plus, get total knockout content on our world-class boxing podcasts and dedicated YouTube channel.
Swaggering, full of confidence.
Available now, and it's all for free. Talksport and Talksport 2, your home of boxing.
Feel the power and the glory.
It's goal time.
And he scored. It's a brilliant goal.
Fired up and raring to go. EFL Live
On Talksport 2.
First in the area, error at the back for the Southampton defence, and it's an own goal. What a mess! I think it's gone in off Harwood-Bellis.
It hits Jack Clark, and then it does, you're right, it hits Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and it's so unlucky for the defender.
Wide again, Fraser, first time cross, Robinson heads it in. It's an equaliser for Southampton, and a landmark moment for the 18-year-old Jay Robinson.
Outstanding delivery, has to be said, and Robinson just arrived right time, was not going to miss. Middle of the goal, 6 yards out.
Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. And that is the half-time score on Talksport 2 at a sunny Portman Road. Second half commentary to come. Let's bring you the latest odds now with William Hill.
In the Zone on Talksport 2 with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
So Ipswich 6-4 to go on and win the game. Southampton to win is 5-2. The draw priced at 6-4. Couple of price boosts for you as well. Ipswich to win 3-2 is now 16-1. And if you fancy George Hurst or Sammy Smodics to score the third goal, that is now 10-3. That was an odds update, all thanks to William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on Talksport 2 with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
So back with live championship commentary on Talksport 2, Ipswich 1, Southampton 1 for you very shortly. Of course, it is the opening weekend of the Premier League season, and Sam Matterface will take you around the grounds on Talksport this afternoon with Game Day Live updates from all 4 Premier League matches. Today we'll see Keith Andrews make his debut in the dugout as Brentford travel to Nottingham Forest. That's underway from 2 o'clock with Mickey Gray, the former England defender, at the City Ground. But earlier this week, Sam sat down with the new Brentford boss, Keith Andrews, to reflect on the business that his side have done in the window so far.
If you look at the goalkeeping situation, we've brought in a keeper who has produced top moments and played a lot of games for one of the biggest football clubs in the world, someone I've worked with for 5 years at under 21 level with Ireland and then throughout his senior Irish career. So he's someone I'm very, very aware of. Christian Norgard, you're right, that was probably an unexpected one for us. I didn't enjoy that phone call when I got it, I'll be honest, because he was a pivotal part of the team and my plans, but was very understanding of his age. His contract situation was coming out, and then he re-signed one, and the opportunity to play at that level, the finances involved. Quickly became aware of Jordan Henderson's availability, spoke with Jordan, and then I was feeling a lot more comfortable about that situation. We signed Anthony Malambo, who I think is a top young player, who will have a really good career here. We just need to settle him into the intensity, I suppose, of the Premier League and our requirements of what we want from him. So yeah, I think we've signed well, and I think the other thing we've got is we have this kind of trend at this football club, I would say, and I made the point when we played Borussia Mönchengladbach on Friday night. 12 months ago, we played Wolfsburg on a Friday night, and Mikael Damsgaard wasn't in the team. He played on the Saturday and the next day, and not the marquee game, if you like, if I'm being entirely honest. Everybody wants to play in front of the fans. Don't know many of them that would prefer to play at the training ground in front of 200 people. So Dams didn't start that game last year, and he was our player of the year and players' player of the year. So there's always opportunities. I think it just screams of opportunity for certain players. And the Dams of last year, who's it going to be this year? Is it going to be Fabio Carvalho? Is it going to be Igor Thiago, Keane Lewis-Porter? I think there's so many stories ready to erupt, and I've got so much confidence in the group of players that I work with on a day-to-day basis.
Well, the story that's been erupting over the last couple of weeks, it is the summer, players are linked with moves. That's the very nature of it, is Yohan Wissa. He's been the subject of interest, or that's what's been reported. How does it help Brentford that you have an existing relationship with him, that if he stays, rather than someone else from outside coming in and trying to manage that situation, he already knows and trusts you?
Yeah, hopefully that will help. I have got a good relationship with Wiss. I worked really hard with him last year to try and find him goals, I suppose. 7 of his 19 goals last year came from set pieces. So he owes me, really. So he shouldn't be going anywhere, Sam, to be blunt. listen, on a serious note, I have got a good relationship with him. Has the last few weeks been ideal? No, of course it hasn't. Hasn't been ideal for him. It certainly hasn't been ideal for him. But I think what underpins that is a mutual respect, that we understand the situation. And hopefully, from my point of view, he's still at the club. I don't see that hasn't changed as far as I've said in the last few days. Nothing is fresh, nothing is new. It's a scenario that isn't wanted from me. Clearly, why would anybody want to lose a striker who scored 19 Premier League goals? So it is what it is, unfortunately. I'll keep communicating to Johan as he is with me. And again, going back to that respectful relationship, that will certainly remain.
That is the Brentford boss, Keith Andrews, speaking to Talksport Sam Matterface. And of course, Brentford get their Premier League campaign underway at Nottingham Forest this afternoon. Manchester United against Arsenal, Chelsea against Crystal Palace, also in the top flight. Sam Matterface bringing you all the goals as they go in. Build up from 1:30 over on Talksport this afternoon. Tomorrow night on Talksport, Leeds take on Everton in the Monday Night Football, the first of the season. The former Watford captain Troy Deeney and the former Leeds and Everton winger Aaron Lennon, part of our commentary team. Our next EFL commentary is on Talksport 2, Bolton against Reading. And then on Friday night, West Ham against Chelsea in the Premier League on Talksport. And here on 2, I will be at Derby against Bristol City for live commentary on Talksport 2. So you can have a choice of listening throughout the week on the network. Do download our free app and you can swipe between both stations for commentaries. You can watch live shows on the network as well. So it's Ipswich 1, Southampton 1 at half-time. Harwood Bellis with the own goal to put Ipswich in front. And Jay Robinson with the equaliser for Southampton. Darren Ambrose, former Ipswich midfielder, with us. Doesn't look like there are any changes at half-time, Darren. Are you surprised by that in any way?
No, I don't think so. I think I've always spoken about this. I think you give them maybe another 10-15 minutes both sides before you start making the substitutions. Who can win it, who can't win it, who's going to defend the lead, who's going to win you the game up top. And I think that will be the message to both teams, that go out there, give me all you can for 10-15 and then we'll freshen it up.
So it's 1-1 and Ipswich will kick off the second half playing from right to left in royal blue and white, with royal blue and white socks as well. And Southampton, the red and white striped shirts, black shorts and white socks. Ipswich go long through Dar O'Shea, high towards the Sir Bobby Robson end, and it's cleared away only as far as Jack Taylor. And Southampton from left to right towards the Sir Alf Ramsey end of the ground in the second half, and Ipswich in the first few seconds of the second period win a free kick in a dangerous position. This is Leif Davis and Jayden Philogene territory, I suppose, Darren, because that'll give Ipswich a left-footed or a right-footed option.
Yeah, and Flynn Downs seems to have hurt his left knee there, clashing with Jack Taylor. It's a clear foul. He put his hand up straight away. Flynn Downs, mistime challenge. Yeah, he's hobbling away now. And as we said before, we know the quality Leif Davis possesses in that left foot. And it's a real opportunity, this, at a good position.
And plenty forward in the blue of Ipswich, and Southampton have brought everybody back at this point. Davis, the number 3, standing over the ball, and he will deliver. Only 2 in the Southampton wall. It's angled well towards the left, this free kick. Davis, one arm up into the air, whips it in high, and the header over the top by Taylor. Good delivery by Davis. Taylor rising highest to meet it, driving into the penalty area late. Couldn't keep the header down. Stays 1-1. This is Talksport 2.
Yeah, huge opportunity. Just mistimed his jump, Jack Taylor. It's good delivery once again. Jack Taylor, George Hurst going for it. Taylor was one who got there. Just headed it over the bar, but already a threat. Leif Davis with that delivery.
I remind you of the two sides. Palmer on the ball now is the Ipswich Town goalkeeper. Johnson, O'Shea, Greaves and Davis in the back four. Matthew Sievert and Taylor, as Hurst plays it down the middle. Smodics into the penalty area. Left-hand side. Shoots low. Hits the post. And it bounces back into the gloves of Bazunu. Sammy Smodics, so close to his first of the season and so close to helping Ipswich regain the lead.
Wow, that's so unlucky. We are right behind it. We see the exact angle. It was in the whole way until it wasn't, right at the very, very end. Hit the post and ended up in Bazunu's hands. So unlucky, Sammy Smodics. Fantastic run and a real good effort.
Well, it was so nearly 2-1. Southampton starts slowly in the second half, but Shea Charles has tried to curl it goalwards, and it's drifted well wide. A slow start to the first period, mirrored by how Southampton have become the second. Ipswich won, Southampton won, but so nearly the home team back in front. They have Philogene, Smodics, as we mentioned, and Clark behind Hurst up front. And for Southampton, Bazunu in goal, Harwood, Bellis, Stevens and Quaji the centre-halves, Fraser and Wellington the wing-backs, Downs and Charles the two in the middle, Fernandez, Armstrong and Robinson up front. Robinson, who scored his first senior goal today, trying to defend away on the far side, the left for Southampton. Ipswich have it on their right with Johnson to cross, Quaji with a relatively simple header away, flicked further clear by Mateus Fernandez, who gets the return ball from Armstrong, who held it up in a very congested area. Fernandez over halfway and Fraser darting down the right in support. Early ball down the middle, well intercepted by Greaves on the slide. Then a poor header out of play by Matusiwa, which has really riled up the Ipswich fans. The Ipswich bench, Chaplin, Kajusta, Ogbeni, Young, Humphreys, Ayinde, Walton, Wolfenden and Kipre. And the Southampton bench, Edwards, Matsuki, Sugawara, McCarthy, Manning, Wood, Brereton Diaz, Archer, and yes, Tyler Dibbling in the squad for the first time this season. Out on the right for Southampton, Fraser's deflected cross bounces up towards Armstrong, who sent Greaves sprawling. It went through to Palmer, the goalkeeper, anyway, but I think Ipswich, had that ended up in the back of the net, would have been looking to the referee, certainly. And Greaves forward 10 yards towards Philogene, midway inside his own half the field. Wriggles away from two in red and white, knocks it back to Taylor again, tight area, giving it away. Harwood Bellis to win it back fairly. Robinson on the edge of the area, tries to place it, takes a deflection, and that'll roll through to Palmer. They were really passive defensively there, Ipswich. It opened up for Robinson, but he couldn't get a clear shot away.
Yeah, that would have been really interesting, because I think initially Jayden Philogene was fouled by the Southampton. I think it was Flynn Downs. Bobby Madley looked to put his whistle to his mouth and then didn't give anything. Then Ipswich quickly lost possession. They almost went down with Jay Robinson and scored.
Now Smodics, inside right, far side of the field for Ipswich. That's a ball that is deflected off Stevens. Philogene tried an overhead kick from the edge of the 6-yard box. It would have been spectacular, but it's gone over the top, and it's still 1-1.
Yeah, it would have been spectacular. I do think he's made the wrong decision there. Smodics with a driving run down the right-hand side, delivers into the box, ended up deflecting. I think it's off Jack Stevens, real high. I think he could have perhaps just tried the easier option with his side foot, Philogene. It's similar to that Richarlison one yesterday, wasn't it, where he tried the overhead kick and just got that wrong. It went miles over.
Well, it is now in a situation where there feels a much greater intensity and zest about the game, much more open and a much quicker pace as well. 5.5 minutes into the second half on Talksport 2, and the scores level between two teams expected to contend for promotion. Foul by Matusiwa, 5-6 yards from the edge of the box on Robinson, and he must have, for a second there, on a yellow card, had his heart in his mouth.
Yeah, he has to be careful, actually. And I'll be surprised if Kieran McKenna isn't looking to his bench, maybe Jens Kayuste, to come on and shore it up, because I think one more of those and that could see him at a second yellow card, and then he's off.
Well, still getting used to the rigours of the Championship, as we suggested in the first half, maybe. Azor Matusiwa. Free kick, Southampton, is in range for Mateus Fernandez here. He's going to place the ball down. It is about 25 yards out, left of centre, towards the Southampton fans on the far side. And his name is being chanted, Mateus Fernandez, by those away supporters. 1-1 in the 52nd minute. The referee has blown his whistle. Up steps Fernandez, right-footed, and it's over the top by a couple of yards or so.
Yeah, it's a tough technique. There's a distance out wide. It must be 25 yards, but he's really on wide of the penalty area as well. So it's a difficult technique to try and achieve from there. It's worth a go, but as you said, Joe, a couple of yards over.
I couldn't quite get the ball to dip towards goal. Matusiwa under pressure, right back position from Charles. Charles bullies his way towards the corner flag and wins Southampton a throw. And Southampton appear to have settled down in the second half. Again, just like the first period, it took them 5 minutes or so, but has the feel of a game that could go either way at this point, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very similar to the first half, albeit Ipswich scored in the opening 5 minutes, and they haven't. They almost did, but they haven't. And there was an opportunity for a long throw, it looks like.
This one of 500 live commentaries we will bring you over the course of the season on the Talksport network. More live football than anyone else. Quasi, long throw looping into the penalty area towards the near post, header away, and Wellington misses his kick on the volley, and Smodics could break here. Smodics over halfway, Downs and Wellington chasing back, and Wellington gets back in the end to roll it back to Bazunu. Complete air shot from Wellington, and Southampton was so vulnerable they had nobody else back, and in the end, fortunate that Smodics started his run a long way from goal.
Yeah, just run out of steam, didn't he, Sammy Smodics? It was really, really unlucky. As you said, Wellington air shot, but he done really, really well to get back on Sammy Smodics. Just run out of steam, didn't he, there?
Just didn't quite have the pace and energy to carry the ball all the way. A bit like Antoine Semenyo did for Bournemouth and Anfield on the Friday night football in the Premier League on Talksport. That run from the edge of his own box. Wellington and Downs were snapping back at Smodics, and Wellington was able to make a fair challenge. Southampton hooked the ball long up towards halfway. It's back in Ipswich possession with Dara O'Shea. It will be interesting to see how long either team leave it before changes. In fact, we mentioned Wellington. I don't know whether he is got much left in terms of this match, because Ryan Manning is stripped and ready to go, and Nathan Wood too. Palmer nearly gives it away. The Ipswich goalkeeper is under pressure from Downs. Angled ball to the left back position, near side. Davis cuts it back in field. Heavy touch from Taylor under pressure from Downs. Ipswich have held on to the ball just about. 1-1, 10 minutes into this second half on Talksport 2, but a far greater sense of jeopardy about the game, I think, in the second half so far. Palmer under pressure again. A square ball to Greaves. Nervousness about Ipswich playing out from the back. Davis nutmegs Fraser, and now races over halfway. Great run by Davis, he's made up 50 yards. Good ball down the middle, Quasi only half clears it. Hurst left corner of the penalty area, and good work by Stevens to outmuscle him, and the ball has gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, really good work, Stevens, but also equal parts really good work, Leif Davis. As you said, nutmeg Ryan Fraser and showed pace to drive through the middle, tried to feed Sammy Smodics. Intercepted by Quasi it was to George Hurst, and then really, really good defending from Jack Stevens. Didn't allow him any room for the shot.
Well, just a single change for Southampton at this point, as Wellington, who was on a yellow card, is replaced by the aforementioned Ryan Manning, a very experienced championship operator, and actually came off the bench to score the equaliser against Wrexham on the opening day of the championship season. Bazunu will chip the ball long from the goal kick for Southampton. Headed by Mateus Fernandes, a glancing blow. Fraser then back in field misplaces his header. Nodded down by Hurst out to the Ipswich left. And here is Fiddler-Jean back towards Hurst. Pass gets a big deflection on it off the left boot, the right boot rather, of Fiddler-Jean outside of his foot. And it's deflected into the arms of the goalkeeper Bazunu, all in bright orange and the short sleeves today. Bazunu to Harwood-Bellis, right-hand edge of the penalty area. Now Fraser on the near side. Harwood-Bellis, first time ball towards Armstrong. Well won back by Matusiwa this time. Timed the challenge well. And Armstrong has caught Matusiwa late with a somewhat frustrated-looking challenge. Ipswich free kick. They work it wide left to Davis. I think the Ipswich fans wanted a booking, but nothing forthcoming for Armstrong. Davis with a deflected cross, header away by Stevens at the near post. It'll bounce down to Fraser, back to Stevens, who hammers it high upfield. Good pressure from Ipswich. Kieran McKenna shaking his fist on the near side. I think he wants the tempo to go up another notch. Ipswich fans trying to get behind their team. It's well poised, isn't it, Darren Ambrose, as we head towards the hour mark?
It really is. It's been a good opening 12-13 minutes of this half by Ipswich, really trying to take control. And you can hear the crowd's reaction to it as well. I think Jaden Philogene in front of us is having a good half of football at the moment, as is Leif Davies. Yeah, still nothing in terms of goalmouth threat yet.
Well, we are your home of the EFL on Talksport 2. Wrexham against Sheffield Wednesday next weekend, as Palmer's clearance upfield is charged down by Armstrong. He gets an earful from more than one Ipswich fan behind the goal to the right, because they're saying, well, you just took too long. And maybe saying it in slightly less diplomatic terms.
Yeah, that was a very polite way of saying it, Joe, and they certainly were, and he did. And what you're thinking, even as management, as team, don't give them any opportunity to get any confidence building, because it's been a good start to the half for Ipswich, and don't allow them any opportunity.
Sun's out again at Portman Road. Nice warm afternoon. Philogene darting in field from the left to the midway point of the Southampton half, and then gets the ball caught underneath his feet. And Southampton win it back. Fraser to Harwood-Bellis, and now Charles, middle of his own half. Oh, and Harwood-Bellis nearly gives it away. Both teams showing real signs of mistakes at the back, and you wouldn't be surprised if a mistake were to lead to the next goal in the game. It's still 1-1.
Yeah, I'm looking down in front of us to the benches, seeing if there's any substitutes getting ready to come on. They're being sent out, they're getting warm, and still no movement as yet in terms of anyone making a change.
We'll also bring you Charlton against Leicester in the Championship next Saturday. That is a 12:30 start. And before that, midweek football, Bolton against Reading from League One on Wednesday. Talksport 2. Davis for Ipswich looks for Smodics, and Manning with an important interception. First real touch to clear, left-footed out of play. I'm sure Kieran McKenna is desperate for an Ipswich home win. Just one all season in the Premier League, and that was in late December against Chelsea, so not won a home league game in the whole of 2025.
Yeah, he'll be desperate, as were the players, as are the supporters, desperate for a home win, just to get that confidence back, make this place a fortress as it was when they were last in the Championship.
It's certainly not been an easy start for Ipswich, away at Birmingham and at home to Southampton here. Their next game is a trip to Preston North End, who've started well, unbeaten from their first two matches. Nudge in field by Philogene. Hurst holds it up, left edge of the centre circle. Good ball out to the right-hand side. Johnson surges forward. Johnson forward to Smodics to try and pull it back, and if he had done, he'd have found Clark, but he got nothing really on it. Quasi got across, and it's an Ipswich corner.
Yeah, it was good defending, but it was I think it was the wrong option. Ben Johnson, he found Sammy Smodics with a good pass. I mean, it was lovely play. Philogene into George Hurst. Full switch play to Ben Johnson. Found Sammy Smodics, but if he just got his head up, Jack Clark was on his own in the penalty area. On his own. It's good play, though.
He must have seen him, but he didn't get enough behind it. Almost missed his kick entirely, actually. Southampton with everybody back. Corner Ipswich. 1-1. We played for an hour. Davis delivers in swinging, and O'Shea with the header at the back post. That's hit Stevens and gone behind for another corner. There were one or two shouts for handball, but it was at such close range that I don't think a penalty could reasonably have been given. Corner.
Yeah, I don't think Dara O'Shea is calling for a penalty. We're just going to take a look at it now. It's jumped up. I don't even think it hit Jack Stevens' hand. It hit him directly on the head.
Yep.
Didn't know nothing about it. Got away with one there because that was heading in.
Well, they're whipping these Ipswich right underneath the crossbar, really trying to test out the goalkeeper Bazunu, who's almost crowded out in his 6-yard box. Philogene with the orange boots on to take the next one. Into the near post, and just over the head of the onrushing Greaves, who tried to leap and meet it, but nobody could get the telling touch for Ipswich on this occasion, and it's gone behind. And we are still level at Portman Road.
Yeah, just mistimed it, Jacob Greaves, didn't he? Being marked by Fernandez. He had the run on him. Just mistimed it. I think the ball wasn't particularly good, but he just mistimed. If he'd have just done a little bit better and jumped, he could have got his head to that. But once again, it's been a great opening period for Ipswich of this second half.
Game day live underway on Talksport very shortly with Sam Matterface taking you around the grounds for all the goals as they go in the Premier League on the opening weekend of the top flight season. Stevens comes out of defence with the ball for Southampton. No free kick given to Ipswich there, despite the appeals of the Ipswich fans. I think it was Taylor who went down. Quasi for Southampton, tall defender. Wide left to the far side, and Manning, the wing-back. Back to Quasi again, now walking pace. Midway inside his own half, and here's the goalkeeper, Gavin Bazunu once more. Will Still has made it clear that he is the number one. Has that shirt to lose, but Bazunu's giving it away with a slightly under-hit pass. Fernandez, lucky that Ipswich didn't take advantage of that. It's back at the feet of Charles for Southampton. Now a square ball that he gives away. Sloppy. Intercepted by the retreating Smodics. And now Johnson, angled ball down the inside right, was a good one. And Jack Clark just wasn't on the same wavelength. Didn't charge after it. And I come back to that point that you made in the first half, former Ipswich midfielder Darren Ambrose. It's just not quite flowing for either team, as it probably will become the end of the season.
Yeah, for sure. And it was a good ball. I think what happened, Jack Clark wanted it played a little bit earlier, and then Ben Johnson put his head down to play it. Jack Clark drifted wide, and he played the pass that he initially wanted. It's just a little bit of lack of communication.
Good slide challenge. Matthew Seaver had a much better game in the last 5-10 minutes or so. 63 minutes on the clock. Ipswich roared forward again from right to left, but again they can't get the ball forward. It's bounced down on halfway. No foul, Matthew Seaver on Armstrong. Ipswich go backwards, but they'll be able to restart an attack with O'Shea, the captain, unchallenged really, midway inside his own half. Good ball over halfway to Clark. Clark's touch heavy under pressure from Manning. Clark trying to wriggle to win it back, and it's nudged forward down the right by Matthew Seaver, chasing his Smodics, but beaten by Quasi, who had a head start. Quasi's knocked it out of play. Southampton can't keep the ball. They can't play a simple pass at the moment.
Yeah, I reckon that's 5 times that I've counted that Quasi has put one out of play in this match. Like simple passes as well, and he's just put it out of play. It was good defending initially.
And now Hurst onside down the inside right for Ipswich after a long ball forward. Flag stays down. Hurst, no great urgency to pull it back. He does find Clark right edge of the penalty area. Clark tries to drill it in low, and it's hit Quasi and been deflected away. Now Southampton have got everybody bar Armstrong behind the ball. Bright sunshine overhead. Ipswich back to Clark, hugging that far side touchline, then darting in field, and then being tackled by Charles, who's booted it straight out of play. Throw to Ipswich in front of the cobbled stand on the far side with that old-fashioned roof and the words Ipswich Town Football Club at the front of it. Clark out to Johnson again, loves to get forward, back to Matthew Seaver. Only really Hurst to him in the penalty area. Davis's far post, he's tried a looping header but no power behind it, and it's easily gathered by Gavin Bazunu. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1 on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2, with 20 minutes having been played in the second half.
I think you said it, Joe, when George Hurst got through, the word urgency, and I think that's all that's missing at the moment, a little bit more urgency. He was in, but he just relaxed and allowed Southampton to get their shape and didn't really create anything after that. Tiny bit more urgency, there could have been a real opportunity.
And Matsuki and Archer are going to come on for Southampton shortly. Robinson bursting into the penalty area, the angle tight, forces a good save from Palmer. And then it's turned behind by O'Shea. Well struck that by Robinson. And denied a second goal by the quick reactions of Ipswich's number one.
Yeah, lovely feet from the young lad. Robinson cut inside, went down the outside as well, and hit a great shot of his left foot, and a good save equal to it, Alex Palmer.
He had to plunge down very low, very quickly. Palmer there. Corner to Southampton. The rebound was turned behind by O'Shea. Fernandez will take it. Ipswich now bring all the blue shirts back into the penalty area to defend it. Fernandez delivers into the near post, and again cleared away by Matthew Seaver. Deliveries haven't always been great for Southampton. Fernandez with a much better cross, right-footed this time. Header away by Jack Taylor for Ipswich. Foot race between Robinson and Davis. Robinson has beaten Davis to it and won a throw. The Ipswich fans appeal, but from our position, a little higher up in the main stand, I think the assistant has got that right. So it's a double change for the Saints with Kuryu Matsuki and Cameron Archer ready to come on. There was some talk that Archer might start, having played from the off in the League Cup in midweek, the win at Northampton, but he is about to come into the game off the bench. Ryan Fraser with a right-footed cross, and that's one bounce and gathered by Palmer. Into the last quarter of the game we go, Darren Ambrose. Can you see a winner coming?
Yeah, I can. And at the moment, it looks like it could be from Ipswich, but we know Southampton are a threat going forward as well. I'll be real surprised if this ends 1-1.
Header away by Harwood Bellis. There you go, you heard it here first. Davis scampering forward, down the middle for Ipswich. Shooting range for him, onto the left side. Philogene takes over. Angle is slightly against him, back heel. Davis crosses, only half away. Important touch by Manning at the back post, otherwise it would have dropped onto the feet of Sammy Smodics. And Southampton will now make their changes. So it's Matsuki for Robinson, who has got off the mark for the first time in senior football today. A great, memorable day for him, you'd have to say, whatever happens. And the other change is Fernandez coming off for Archer, and I don't think we've seen the best of Mateus Fernandez today. Is that probably fair comment, Darren? Not seen the best of him?
Yeah, I think so. It's a little bit tired, particularly in this second half. He's clearly talented, you can clearly see that, that's why people are after him, but not seen the best. You're absolutely right. There's a lot more to come from him.
Gets a hug from his manager Will Still, who's patrolling the touchline. Kieran McKenna to the right, and I think Connor Chaplin, Ipswich's number 10, is being readied, and possibly Jens Kujiste as well. Throw to Ipswich, far side the right. Johnson back about 5-6 yards to Matthew Seaver. All the way to the halfway line now, where O'Shea is waiting. Square ball to Greaves. A little over 20 minutes of normal time to go. Not a good pass out from the back by the goalkeeper Palmer, but it doesn't matter. Nobody in Southampton colours really putting the pressure on O'Shea. Johnson, right back area. Turning away from Cameron Archer, who is being helped out by Manning, who wins it back. First touch for Archer. Looks for Armstrong. Plays it backwards towards Shea Charles. Further wide is Manning to deliver towards Matsuki, but he'd made a far post run, cleared away by Greaves at the near post, and now it's back with the Ipswich goalkeeper Palmer again. You'd think Ipswich would be the more likely to commit men forward at this point in the game, being the home team, yet to win this season, Darren, but Southampton, as you say, have got attacking intent as well, and it says something, I guess, that the two changes have come in the forward line.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're good on the counter-attack, Southampton, and that's the last thing you don't want to concede. I think they're making a triple substitution now, and Ogbene, I was there, Bromley, on Tuesday, Bromley for Ipswich, he was the best player, Ogbene, on the pitch. He's magnificent, and he can really drive upfield, so maybe this is a tactic that Kieran McKenna's going to use now. Give it to Ogbene and let him drive us upfield.
Well, it was a real blow, wasn't it, to Ipswich last season when he picked up that early injury. It ruled him out for the rest of the campaign. Standing ovation, first of all for Philogene. And he's going to be replaced by Chaplin. Now, Taylor's coming off as well. And the third player to leave the field is Jack Clark, who's been quite quiet today. So Clark, Philogene and Taylor go off. On come Chaplin, Ogbene and Kayuste. What's the thinking from Kieran McKenna there, Darren Ambrose?
Kayuste to try and gain some possession in the midfield. Really, really good player. Little surprised he's back here, actually. You can hear the applaud. That is for Jens Kayuste coming onto the pitch. Real one of the favourites here at Portman Road. And now with Ogbene, Chaplin, Smodics, George Hurst, it's a real opportunity to get something here.
It's one of the biggest cheers of the day. Maybe the biggest. Real roar for Jens Kayuste as he comes back onto the pitch in an Ipswich shirt. The Sweden international, back on loan from Napoli. 30 Premier League appearances last season. Scored a brilliant goal of the month in the Premier League in March. Can he help Ipswich make their way towards a first league win of the season? Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. Quasi hooks the ball over his shoulder and away for Southampton. Risky backheader by Stevens, and the goalkeeper clatters into Smodics, but it is Smodics who is penalised. That is going to be a controversial moment in the Championship season so far. Bazunu went out to try and reach the back header, which was a really poor one from Stevens. Smodics tried to beat him to it. They collide, and has the referee got it right, Darren Ambrose?
I mean, it's so difficult to call this one. I think he gets it right. I mean, it's so brave of Sammy Smodics, by the way, and the crowd are not happy, but we are lucky, Joe, to have the monitor in front of us. And I think Bazunu does have control of the ball in two hands. I mean, it's milliseconds. Firstly, it's a poor header from Jack Stevens. Has he got full control of the ball? Does that matter?
Well, it's a difficult decision for the referee, probably the most difficult decision of the day for Robert Madley. The Ipswich fans were up in arms. Kieran McKenna just standing a steep drop to the near side touchline below us. We're right behind Kieran McKenna. Didn't really see any appeals from him. Did Bazunu have control of it? Smodics' momentum took him into the goalkeeper.
It was brave from both of them, has to be said. Smodics, real opportunity though, but I think he just had two hands on the ball.
Not an easy one for the referee. And despite what the Ipswich fans are protesting, I think you're right, Darren. I think he has got it right, just about. And Smodics back on his feet. He took the real blow there. Ipswich trying to come forward again. The ball is cleared by Harwood Bellis, and he'd handled it in the process. Free kick to Ipswich, down the near side there left, at about the midway point of the Southampton half.
I'm wondering if he's given the free kick or the throw-in. There was definite handball in front of us, and he's given the throw-in. Having a rough afternoon, these officials at the moment.
Well, nice and close to the pitch, the fans here at Portman Road, putting the pressure on. Hurst trying to spin and turn with his back to goal. Wasn't the best layoff. Rattled into his feet by Chaplin. Southampton smuggle it clear. Archer, towards the halfway line, has held it up. 16 minutes plus added time to go. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. Bazunu, heavy touch. Left-footed clearance. Skywards doesn't travel too far. Johnson actually lets it bounce and run across his body. Didn't really need to do that with Archer in close quarters, and that's a needless throw given away by Johnson.
Yeah, a bit sloppy. Ben Johnson, as you said, didn't need to let that bounce. Should have come and met it, cleared the lines, allowed the bounce, and Cameron Archer was on him. He's given away a needless throw-in.
In front of these Southampton fans, 2,000 of them here today. Armstrong plays the ball backwards to the feet of Ryan Manning. Manning the number 3 to Quasi. Midway inside the Ipswich half. Quasi's ball forward down the inside left. Charles poking it forward. Can't squeeze it into the path of Archer or Armstrong. Ipswich clear. Just a quarter of an hour remaining. Ipswich have gone closest in the second half. The shot off the post from Smodics. Chaplin has belted the ball long, trying to take a free kick quickly, and he's got it all wrong. One bounce and through to Bazunu. What was he thinking?
Yeah, I'm wondering if he was trying to hit the Southampton player in front of him. I think it was Charles. And Charles just dodged out the way, ended up going all the way through to the goalkeeper.
Quasi out on the far side, the Southampton left, and another early high ball up the inside left channel towards Archer, hooked away by Johnson after the initial header by O'Shea. Downs unchallenged, wins it back just outside the centre circle. Quasi, slightly risky square pass under pressure. Almost looked like he mishit that, but it rather fortunately dropped onto the chest of Harwood Bellis. Fraser clears upfield for Southampton. Many little mistakes from both sides across the course of the game, and that's maybe partly why it is only 1-1. O'Shea will roll it back to goalkeeper Palmer. Palmer forward to Matusiva under pressure, and an up and under from O'Shea, just as Ipswich needed one of those. Scoops the ball downfield. Quasi wins it back over the much smaller Chaplin. Flynn Downs striding forward for Southampton down the right. He's held it up, the blonde-haired Downs. Fraser crossing again from the right. Header away by Greaves. Now it drops down to Connor Chaplin. Ipswich were the masters of the late goals in their last season at this level in 23-24. Are they going to get another one here? 1-1. Ogbeni with a weaving run, and that looks like handball off the defender, but it's definitely a corner. No free kick for handball against Stevens. Corner to Ipswich. Scores level on Talksport 2, and here's Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, brilliant Ogbene. Exactly what I said he's coming on for, to drive upfield, use his pace. I think it's handball, by the way. I think it's only two hands, though, so apparently that you get away with that, Jack Stevens. But it's a corner, nonetheless, but brilliant play, Ogbene.
Well, we're all set for a thrilling finish here, and both teams scored late goals last weekend. In fact, there were two in added time for Southampton to turn it around against Wrexham. Again, they're really crowding the 6-yard box here, Ipswich. Davis's delivery aimed right in amongst it, punched away by the goalkeeper, not very far. He was being tugged back by Cayuste. That must be right. The referee has given a free kick. Bazunu was off balance and he tried to punch it away one-handed. It sort of skewed off his hand. Only travelled a couple of yards, but free kick given to the Southampton goalkeeper.
I mean, the goalies get away with anything nowadays, don't they? I don't see much in that. In fact, I think it was him pulling Jens Cayuste in the 6-yard box.
Ipswich have won it back straight away. They have it on the halfway line with Matu Siva. Little dink over the top. Ogbeni chasing away by Kwaji into touch. That small lower tier at the front of the cobbled stand. Johnson now waits to take the throw. Far side the right. Gets the ball back from Connor Chaplin. Chaplin back to Matu Siva. Well, Ipswich do probably look the more likely. Dink over the top by Chaplin. Johnson inside right, pulls it across. Smodics can't reach it. It's come to Davis at the far post. On the half volley. And he's hit it at pace, but he sent it slicing wide.
It's just the wrong option. Once again, Leif Davies. Don't blame him for going for it. And they got in, didn't they? Ogbene again. This time it was Ben Johnson, I think. Cut it back. Just missed Smodics. Found Leif Davies. He could have put it back across goal. I think George Hurst in the 6-yard box on his own. Tried to hit one. He's got a great left foot, we know that. Just sliced it wide.
Well, that could have been a very special moment for one of the Ipswich crowd favourites. Southampton again trying to put play out of the back. And again they lose possession. Downs tangling with Cayuste. Play goes on. Ipswich have got it back with Davis. Near side the left. Goes down to the challenge of Matsuki. Ipswich throw. Got a similarly chaotic feel to the meeting between these two in the Championship a couple of seasons ago, Darren.
Yeah, it does. And I think the second loudest cheer goes to Bobby Madley giving a foul for Ipswich Town. And that's after Jens Cayuste substitution.
Well, Davis is going to deliver here from the left. Couple of yards infield. Plenty forward in the royal blue shirts of Ipswich Town. From right to left in the second half. Davis. High, looping free kick to the back post. Nodded down to Ogbene. And backwards to Johnson. A good 35 yards out. Johnson chips the ball into the box. Headed away by Shea Charles. Cayuste is forward. Greaves has stayed forward. So too is O'Shea. But Ipswich are going backwards. And a terrible back pass by Matu Siva, though he was caught late by Armstrong. Very heavy overhit back pass. But it doesn't matter anyway. It'll be a free kick to Ipswich. That happened right in front of the two dugouts.
Yeah, it was one of those forward challenges, wasn't it? As he went to pass it back to Alex Palmer, Adam Armstrong just come through the back of him. Yeah, he always been chaotic the last 15 minutes, Joe, to say the least.
Well, there's still 9.5 to go, plus any added time, and nobody in the 29,000 strong crowd is going anywhere at Portman Road. Tyler Dibbling is going to come on for his first appearance of the season in a Southampton shirt very shortly. At one stage it looked like this wasn't going to happen. It looked like the 19-year-old had played his last game for the club. And Fraser's gone down here for Southampton. But do you back Tyler Dibbling to stay at this point, Darren Ambrose, if he's involved in the matchday squad again?
I mean, we said it, didn't we, at the start of the match? If no one's come up with the correct figure, then he stays at the football club. And if he stays at the football club, we'll want him in the football team as soon as possible. We want him in the starting 11 as soon as possible. And here is it just shows you, doesn't it, that it probably looks like at the moment, until you come up with the right money, he's staying here. And he's about to make his first appearance of the season.
Dibbling with his socks rolled halfway down his shins, as is usually the case. You'd imagine it'll be Fraser who he replaces, and Fraser is receiving treatment anyway. 2 Southampton physios on the pitch. It might be a double change for the Saints. Will Steele watching on from the edge of his technical area. Dibbling waits to come on. And Fraser limps off. Dibbling is going to replace Adam Armstrong. And is this Sugawara down below us? It is. A bit more defensively minded than Fraser. Sugawara for Fraser in the wing-back position is a straight swap. Came to the club from Dutch football. RZ did Sugawara. Had started both games prior to today. And on goes Dibbling. Well, wouldn't it be a story if he could have a say late on in where the points end up here? It'll be a point shared with the score still 1-1. With just over 7 minutes to go. Quite a bit of added time, I would think, as well.
Yeah, I think so as well. And Tyler Dibbling has settled at the right wing position. I think Matsuki has gone over to the left, and Cameron Archer is now playing as the number 9. Because Adam Armstrong, of course, has just been replaced. But yeah, this could go any way. And I agree. I think there's going to be some added time at the end.
They are underway over on Talksport with Game Day Live. All the goals as they go in from the first Premier League Sunday of the season on Talksport. Leeds against Everton is the first Monday night football of the campaign. That is live at Ellen Road tomorrow night. Leeds, of course, promoted from the Championship back to the Premier League last season. Southampton look long towards the edge of the Ipswich box. Kayuste only half away. Smodix is not able to clear either. Kayuste hammers it against his own man Chaplin. Nervy clearances from Ipswich on more than one occasion there. Dibbling, first touch of the season as a Southampton player. Holds it up and goes backwards to Stevens. Now Kouaji, midway inside his own half. Out to the left-hand side, the far side of Manning, who crosses halfway. Tracked by Ogbene. Good possession is for Southampton, and that stoppage, I think, came at a good time for them in the match. Kouaji's little chip down the inside left. Matsuki chasing. Across comes O'Shea. And the ball has gone out of play. Last touch from Matsuki. And that is an Ipswich throw.
I think you're at the stage of the game now where this is going to be won or lost by something special or a mistake. And I don't think anyone will want to be the one to make the mistake. And of course, they'll all want to be the hero with something special. Can it be Tyler Dibbling or Ogbene or Sammy Smodix?
Well, there's attacking talent. There's match winners on both teams. 2 of the best in the Championship, at least on paper. Southampton will stay unbeaten if it stays like this in the first couple of games of the league season. Header out of play by Archer. Got the last touch in the challenge with Greaves. A throw to Ipswich in the left-back spot. At what point do both managers say, maybe we'll settle for what we have, Darren Ambrose?
I mean,
or do they do that?
It could be this point, but I don't think either of these managers will do that. Will Steele, we don't know much about as yet, but what we do know is he'll want to win. And again, Kieran McKenna, we've seen it. Late goals, particularly in the Championship a couple of years ago. Late goals was a catalyst to how they played. And they had so many wins by late goals.
Straight swap for Ipswich at right back now. Ashley Young at the age of 40, making his home debut. Off goes Ben Johnson, and Matu Siva will now leave the field. And Cam Humphreys, who impressed on loan in League One at Wycombe last season, is the other player to take to the field. Well, like for like, so not a change of shape. I mean, he's always pretty loyal, isn't he? Kieran McKenna to the 4-2-3-1. 4 minutes to go plus added time. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. Good ball by Greaves out to the left, and Davis, who tried to touch it first time to Smodix. Smodix did brilliantly to win it back initially, but then the diminutive Smodix has stumbled on the ball and inadvertently carried it out of play for a Southampton throw.
Yeah, just got ahead of him, didn't it? I don't think he realised he was about to run it off. He was looking, I think, at Leif Davis just to set it back. And it caught him by surprise that the line was just there.
You can hear the Southampton fans, 2001 here, to be precise, singing away on the far side of the field. They're about to reach a third of last season's overall points tally. after just 2 games in the Championship.
It's outrageous.
They get 4 points. They got 12, didn't they, last year, Darren?
They certainly did.
Well, it speaks to what could be a problem, the gap between the Premier League and the Championship. You know, the promoted clubs coming straight back down.
Yep.
In each of the last 2 seasons. Nudged forward by Harwood Bellis, header away by Greaves. 3 minutes left now. And no sign of a winner at the moment for either team. Chaplin, though, for Ipswich. Early ball over halfway is a brilliant one. Left-footed first time. Ogbene, right edge of the penalty area square. Kayuste! Blocked. Comes out to Ashley Young. And he can't have a go. But Chaplin will do left-footed, and he's drilled it wide. Fabulous touch from Connor Chaplin with that arcing crossfield ball. It almost deserved a goal.
What a ball. What a ball. I think only Connor Chaplin in the team could have seen that. Left foot right in behind. And you know what? He just knew Ogbene would be there on the run. I thought, was he going to attack the defender, go round him? He finds Kayuste at the end. And it was a good block in the end from the Southampton defence.
Well blocked indeed. What a pass from Chaplin. Instinctive spinning the number 10. The little number 10 for Ipswich, who has been brilliant at EFL level. Didn't cut it in the Premier League, but then really there were very few at Portman Road who did. In all honesty, heavy touch by Davis. We are into the penultimate minute of normal time. Sugawara with a strange touch straight out of play. Talksport 2, 1-1. Long throw by Davis, and the defence for Southampton nearly caught out there. Hurst in field. Sliced up into the air and away by Stevens. For a moment it felt like Southampton forgot that you can't be offside from a throw. Charles over the halfway line for them. It's a difficult ball retreating for O'Shea to deal with. Helped out by Greaves. The two Sunja defenders each with a header clear, and Davis has given it straight to Sugawara again. Heading towards the final minute of normal time. And one more goal will certainly win it here. But if it is to come, which way is it going to go? The unpredictability of the Championship on show again. Archer making a run up the inside right for Southampton. Found by Harwood Bellis' long pass. Archer back to Charles to dink it in first time. Header away by Young. Quasi on the volley, and he's got that all wrong in the end. I thought for a moment he'd caught it brilliantly, but it's well wide.
Well, he certainly caught it brilliantly, but as you said, it was well wide. But the angle we're at, it did look like it was heading in the direction of the goal. Ended up more in the direction of the corner flag. And by the way, it was great hands from the supporter in the stand there. Stood up and just caught it. It was amazing.
He did catch it. That's unbelievable.
Brilliant.
He threw it back as well very quickly to Alex Palmer. Ipswich keen to get it forward. Last few seconds of normal time. It's 1-1, and it's been entertaining in the second half, definitely. Palmer turns away from Dibbling. The confidence of the goalkeeper to do that in added time. 5 minutes added at the end of the game. Ipswich looking for a first win of the season. Young forward to Ogbene. Right-hand side, ball in blocked by Manning. It's come back to Ogbene. Down towards the corner of the penalty area now. Onto the right side, Ashley Young in space. First time cross hits the head of Manning and flies out of play for an Ipswich throw. So 5 added minutes to find a winner, with the score at 1-1. Might it be forthcoming? Does there deserve to be a winner, I wonder? Kayuste pokes it onto Young, level with the edge of the box. Good cross, right-footed, headed away by Stevens. Drops towards the edge of the penalty area, headed clear by Downs. Now it'll drop to Greaves. On the Ipswich left, the near side. Greaves, the centre-back, fouled by Dibbling. Clumsy way to concede a free kick in such a dangerous position.
Yeah, lazy leg there from Tyler Dibbling. Jacob Greaves knew what was going to happen. He knew he'd get his leg there, knew he'd get there first. Wins the free kick. Another dangerous position. I just think a couple of moments ago, Ogbene could have been a little bit more positive. Attacked his defender instead of hitting it early into the box. But can Leif Davies get the delivery right first and foremost? Can someone be a hero?
In the bright sunshine, it is 1-1. Second minute of 5 added at the end of the game. Davis delivers left-footed, and over the head, Chaplin over the bar with the second touch from almost on the goal line. That was his moment to be a hero, and he couldn't do it.
What delivery once again from Leif Davies. I did look over and the linesman had his flag up. I don't see why or what happened to allow that. I think it was Hurst and Greaves battling Jack Stevens, looped up to Chaplin, rose the highest, rose the ball over the bar as well. Ticking into the 93rd minute, that could have been the chance.
Clearance away by Bazunu downfield, header away by Greaves. And right into the Ipswich dugout. So 1-1 and nearly halfway through those 5 added minutes. And maybe have we seen the last chance of the game here on Talksport 2. Bolton against Reading, our next EFL commentary. Wednesday night. From League One, of course. And then 3 live games for you on Talksport 2 from the EFL at the weekend. Southampton come forward with Dibbling looking for Sugawara, blocked off by Davis. Smodics on his own dead ball line, clears away right-footed. Derby Bristol City on Friday night, Charlton Leicester and Wrexham Sheffield Wednesday, 2 blockbusters in the Championship on Saturday. Out on the left for Southampton is Manning. Can they steal it here? 2 minutes of added time to go. Ipswich, who scored late to get a point in their first game, and Manning's got the wrong side of Ogbene. Ogbene gets back in front of Manning for Ipswich to win it back at the vital moment. Now Manning gets in front of Ogbene to poke it back to Charles, and Southampton are maybe going to finish the game certainly with possession here. Just over 90 seconds to go, and they're on the attack. Played back by Sugawara to Tyler Dibbling. Infield from the right. Dibbling, little dink towards the edge of the penalty area, only half away. Drops to Archer. And Chaplin on the floor, headed that back to Cayuste, who cleared. But Ipswich on the ropes here late on in the game, Darren Ambrose.
Oh, amazing bit of defending. Connor Chaplin knew he was on the floor, knew he had to do something, just nodded it back while he was laying there. Brilliant.
Just over a minute to go, and Kieran McKenna might have to settle for another point. Albeit they've been 2 difficult fixtures to start the season with. Southampton are going to have a long throw here. Quasi in front of the away fans will take it. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Is this the last opportunity? Final minutes of 5 added at the end of the game on Talksport 2. Here comes Quasi. Long throw looping towards the near post. Harwood Bettis tries to flick it on. It wasn't a good throw by Quasi. And there's a foul in there and a free kick to Ipswich.
Yeah, and the crowd are saying, get on with it. Ashley Young is squaring up, I think, to... is it...
Charles.
Shay Charles. Yeah, it is. But the supporters, they want to... 30 seconds to go. They want to get up the other end as quick as possible.
Just the 19 years older than Shay Charles, Ashley Young. Charles is booked. Now, has Young been booked as well? I don't think so.
I didn't see Young get booked, no.
Well, we've nearly had the 5 added minutes. Ipswich with one last hoist of the ball downfield, maybe through Palmer. This is it. Palmer punts the ball long. It drops just inside the Southampton half. Cushioned header by Ogbene, and now Hurst, and back to Cayuste from Chaplin. Good sweeping ball, Cayuste. Left-hand side and Davis. We're into added time on added time. It's 1-1. Humphreys scampering infield, whipping a deep ball towards Chaplin, who nods it down. Gathered by Bazunu. And that is the end of the game. And Southampton remain unbeaten 2 matches into the Championship season. Ipswich still looking for their first victory of the new campaign. Honours even at Portman Road. Kieran McKenna, probably the more disappointed of the 2 managers. His side had the better of the second half chances, but credit Southampton for fighting back after going a goal down after only 4 minutes. An own goal from Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Jay Robinson headed them level with his first senior goal. Into the second half, it was Ipswich who dominated, really, in terms of chances. Sammy Smodics with the best of them, hitting the post. At the other end, Alex Palmer made a good save to deny Robinson before he went off. Substituted. And in exactly the competitive game that we expected here between 2 sides, hoped to be at the top end of the Championship come the end of the season. Nothing to separate them. It ends Ipswich 1, Southampton 1, and here's Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, a real good game of football. This really, really good. And I have to be honest, I think on the second half display, second half showing, I think Ipswich can feel hard done by that. They haven't got the 3 points today. They haven't lost. Both teams unbeaten this season. 2 draws for Ipswich and a draw and a win for Southampton. I just feel the second half, Ipswich really took it to them, which we all knew was going to happen. But 1-1, I think, was fair at half-time. But I just think Ipswich edged the second half, but couldn't quite get the victory.
We should mention as well, Ipswich felt they should have had a penalty. Goalkeeper on Smodics. Anything in that, Darren Ambrose, on what was a tough day for the referee?
It was a tough day for the referee. I thought it was a poor performance, actually, from the officials today. Apart from maybe that one, I think they got that one right. He had it in 2 hands, Bazunu, and whether he had full control remains to be seen. But it was the momentum that Sabi Smodics ran into him, and I just feel gutted for Ipswich today and the support. Great support, both teams. Southampton, they're all still here as well, but I think Ipswich just edged that match and deserved the victory.
So it finishes level pegging here at Portman Road. Over on Talksport right now, Sam Matter faces hosting Game Day Live. All the goals as they go in from the Premier League. You can also give Sam and the team a call to react to what has just happened here at Portman Road, where it's finished Ipswich 1, Southampton 1. The number to dial, as always, is 03717 223344, and you can also send a WhatsApp voice note with your reaction to the same number. Coming up next here on Talksport 2, it's an episode of the William Hill Sports Book Club. It has finished in our live EFL commentary from the Championship. Ipswich 1, Southampton 1.